Hi, everybody. My name is Steve Johnson. I'm the owner of Virtuosity here in Boston, Massachusetts.
And I'm John Snell from Bob Reeves Brass in California.
Today we're going to talk about 3 myths about trumpet mouthpieces. The first myth, John, just because some famous player is playing on this specific mouthpiece, that means that I should play that mouthpiece, right?
Exactly, because
Perfect.
I have my Michael Jordan Nikes on, and you saw me slam dunk on the way in.
It was great. Really great to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same principle. I mean, we joke, but, players buy a mouthpiece because some big-name player can play double Cs on it or play in a symphony orchestra on it, and it's just like saying, look, I run a marathon, and you're going to wear my exact shoes. It doesn't work that way. I mean, we're all built differently. We all put different energy into the horn based on our size and our shape and all of that. And all of that comes into the equipment that you're going to use on a brass instrument. And I mean, it may be possible that you're going to have a similar equipment to someone who's a pro player, but it's kind of a shot in the dark. So yeah, I mean, my advice is find what works for you, just like you go into a shoe store and you find shoes that are comfortable for you. And then the other consideration is everyone plays a different job. If you're sitting in a studio doing something, or if you're sitting in a big band or sitting in an orchestra, you don't have the freelance career necessarily that that person does or that you do. Everyone's got a different job and sound concept, and your equipment should reflect that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep trying with these Michael Jordan shoes, but I don't have a lot of hope with them.
All right. Well, I got to go return some golf clubs.
Okay, Tiger.
Second myth we want to talk about, I've got to make sure I can put a ton of air through my mouthpiece, right, John?
Ton of air, right? Yeah, it's feeling stuffy. I need to put more air through. I need bigger backbore, bigger instrument, whatever. I mean, there's a reason why a lot of, especially trumpet players, have drawers full of mouthpieces that they've tried to ream out to get more air through and then end up ruining a mouthpiece. So it's really critical to think about the fact that when we're dealing with the science of a mouthpiece and an instrument, we're dealing with acoustics, not airflow. Yes, you need air to have your lips vibrate and as a cushion, but the feeling you're getting in a mouthpiece and an instrument is 90-something, maybe 99% acoustic, the physics of acoustics. And if you know anything about acoustics, you realize that a lot of times it's counterintuitive, so bigger might actually feel more stuffy. So one of the biggest myths I'm sure we all deal with is the brass player that wants to bore something out open or go to a bigger bore instrument to get more airflow and not really have good success. Now, that doesn't mean you don't need a bigger bore or bigger bore instrument or a bigger back bore, something like that, but make sure it's for the right reasons.
That makes too much sense. Myth number 3. So I've been playing for a while. I'm getting really good. So now it's time to move to a bigger mouthpiece, right? I mean, that's what I get for being a good player.
Bigger, stronger, go as big as you can. Go big or go home, right? Isn't that what they say?
That's the game.
And, well, I mean, all jokes aside, some players need large equipment, but it's like a bell curve. Very few of us need as large of equipment as we commonly see come into the shop. And a lot of it has to do with who was playing. We were talking earlier about Bud Herseth playing a 1C. Well, that was because of an accident, right? Not because that's what he naturally played. And this ties into myth number 2 with the airflow in that with the acoustics of the instrument, it's possible to get a big, dark, Teutonic sound or a big, strong lead sound on smaller equipment based on the energy you're putting in and based on how you're using the equipment. Are you driving a big semi-truck when you're playing, or are you driving an F1 car, making small adjustments and actually learning to use the equipment properly? So just because you feel like you're getting bigger and stronger doesn't mean you should go from the 7C to the 5C to the 3C to the 1.5C. That's not always the best path for most of us. So bigger is not always better.
Great tips. So hopefully that's able to shed some light on the 3 biggest myths regarding trumpet mouthpieces. Thanks to John for coming out and helping us decipher some of this information, and happy mouthpiece hunting.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Steve.
Make sure when you're talking, talk to that.
Sorry.
Not as much to Steve.
But it's so hard.
I know it's
For our purposes, to get the
so close.
I know,
so
right?
Close.
I know.